Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. We got some breaking news coming out of Washington today when it comes to Jayden Daniels playing in the preseason. Dan Quinn just confirmed that he will be playing in the preseason opener versus the New York Jets. Now, you're probably saying to yourself, that's expected. Well, not really, because as we know, some of these early picks, like Caleb Williams, doesn't always play. Let's talk about it.
Wiill, black, what I want.
Get back slow. I love the way she rock it. I love the way she move it, shake it on me. When she cry for him, the shawty is the winner. You can tell that shawty love again now. She's confident. I love the way she move it.
YouTube, what's going on? It's Gotti here. We another Washington Commanders video, and in today's video, coming on here with the video, we're going to be talking about Jayden Daniels starting in the preseason opener. What does this mean? And we're going to also hear from Coach Dan Quinn, who just told us the news about 10 minutes ago. So, without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. But before we do, make sure you guys go down below, leave a like on this video, subscribe to the channel if you are new, turn on post notifications so you get notified when I upload new videos like this to the channel. Want to road to 8,000 subscribers, so it'll greatly appreciate if you can reach that goal as soon as possible. And you guys see right here in the corner, right? You see in this corner, I added my social media links back. So I want you guys to go ahead and follow me on there. You know, again, it's free. It's literally free to get followers on there or follow each other on there. I'm following y'all back on there. And I'm just trying to get to 1,000 followers really on Instagram. But it would be greatly appreciated if you could do it for both Instagram and Twitter. But I'm following y'all back if y'all help me get to 1K. Alrighty, let's get straight to it. All right, so Dan Quinn just announced that Jayden Daniels is starting preseason opener versus the Jets. And for me, this is huge because not only is he getting opportunities in there to, you know, finally get some real game action, get his feet wet, get his feet under him, make his good plays, make his fair share of mistakes where it doesn't matter. But it's also going to draw a lot of fans in to watch it on the preseason because not everyone is like me and you out there that's going to care about the back end of the roster, who's on the back end, who's making who's going to bubble missing the 53-man roster. Like, it's not like that. And it's exciting because you remember, go back to last year. I know there's two different regimes, but going back to last year when Sam Howell and all the starters played, Terry McLaurin, all those guys, it's just like, man, football is really back. And it's different this year because this is a #2 overall pick, and he's a rookie, so that's another thing in itself. And the reason why we want to see him play is because we've been dying to see him, right? Like, we hear all the good stuff about him coming from training camp, what he's been looking like in training camp, mini camp, the kind of person he is. But it all gonna come to show on I want to say that's Saturday is when we play, which is kind of weird. Saturday at 12 p.m. is when we play our preseason game 1. That's kind of weird, but I'm definitely excited to see what he looks like. And again, guys, please take it with a grain of salt. It's nothing too serious. Like, if he goes out there and he looks completely lost, you know, he looks like he just looks, you know, too big for the moment, I'm not going to overreact because it's his first ever action in preseason. And then same on the other side. If he goes out there carving the Jets up, who knows if the Jets even going to play their starters. So if he goes out there carving them up, I'm not going to be overly hyped because, again, it's just preseason. And I'm not sure how long he's going to play. I'm not sure how many series he's going to play. But it's definitely exciting to see that he is playing. And everyone knows, even though they're saying this is a quarterback competition, everyone knows Jayden Daniels is the starting quarterback of the Washington Commanders. But let's go ahead and listen to a little bit of Dan Quinn's press conference to kind of hear him say it himself and also pick up on some other gems before practice starts today. Let's get it.
To attest a little bit on where you're at, rules and assignments and situations and game and clock management. So sidelines, substitutions, to work it all out to see where you're at. And so it's a good session to go through, and then we'll go right back to it today. You know, padded work, line of scrimmage day, big team run spots, and one-on-ones down the red zone. So throw a good day. But I was pleased with our first, you know, look at what a mock game is and the purpose behind it. It's kind of like all of us studying for an exam. So you got your stuff down. Now you're ready to move it on. So with all that said, let's get it rocking.
So you guys made a transaction, bringing Taylor Stallworth in, letting Christian go. Can you explain that move, and how much of this is related to maybe easing Johnny Newton back in?
Yeah, there's definitely, you know, the terms become more popular as we hear it, like load management and stuff. And certainly for somebody, coming off an injury, you're trying to find the right levers, right, John, to make sure what's enough, how much to push, when to back, because there's certainly some days, even when you may not see him, he's doing extra, field work to, keep strength, keep conditioning to go to that. So, yes, definitely a part of that interior. And it wasn't, if there's thinking long term with some of the guys, and John as well, Alan, that we limit him some as we're going through it. So it made sense to do that.
And then also a big storyline in the last few years was Terry McLaurin working with quarterbacks and how it's every year there's a new starter. As a guy who's been a league coach in defense for a while, what can you see when a quarterback and a receiver have that synchronicity? And when it develops, what kind of challenges does it pose for a defense?
Quite a bit, because that type of connection, not all routes thrown to somebody are the same. And so I probably learned that during my time in Atlanta with Matt Ryan and Julio. And so there were certain throws that were to Julio that were a little bit different, based on his unique size and speed that would go. And Terry has some of those same things, like the deep ball to him isn't the same as the next one. So that type of connection certainly matters. The other part that it can happen in a game, a look, a quick signal, like those are the times that you've spent a lot of time and hours together. So, yeah, it's very cool to see that connection go. I've said it before, Terry's such a pro, man. When he steps out onto that arena, you know who he is, how he gets down, and it's been excellent for Jayden to have, a person like Terry to lean into.
Hey, Dan. Good morning.
Good morning.
With regards to Jayden, with the pre-draft stuff, there was some people had questions. Hey, can you throw the ball inside? Didn't do it a lot at LSU. How does he do that? What was your guys' sort of thought on that criticism? How do you think he's kind of looked so far in that regard?
Yeah, for us, maybe some of the things we didn't see at LSU, they had an excellent offense. Obviously, just look at the numbers, movements and keepers, to get the ball outside. And so I remember talking to Coach Kelly about that, and yeah, he can do it. We didn't have that. There's only so much he can do. So seeing him add stuff to the thing, we knew creating Ben, right, getting out of the pocket, throwing. So that part would come alive once the keepers and that. The play pass that would go with it. So we've been pleased. It's the decision making that I've been really impressed by, where to go. So not just the throwing, but playing the position.
And maybe to that end, I remember maybe it was back in minicamp when Terry said he realized pretty quick he's got to get his head turned around on crossers over the middle. You got to have the vision to do that. So how is that? Has it changed from your opinion, or how has that developed over camp?
No, I thought that was strong going in, where you saw the connection with him and the receivers from LSU, and, you heard about the work that they put in together to, achieve that kind of success throwing the ball. So all the different layers of throws, deep balls, crossers, out of the backfield, all of those matter, and you work on all of them at different times. And then the decision-making process, that's a whole nother part of it. This coverage goes to here. This look goes to here. I got a matchup I want. I go to here. So there's kind of like your skill work and then the processing work. And the processing part for him has been excellent.
This week, you get to go to Jersey and joint practice. What do you get out of those, per se?
A lot. I think, one, you get also some evaluations check. Against different people in different situations, this rusher, this defense, this front, this look, those are the things that you like, when you're seeing a matchup. It's not necessarily scheme related. It's just seeing, I'm looking forward to seeing Brandon Coleman. They've got some good rushers on the outside, and what a good test for him. So it's like a small example like that to say, all right, whether it's their defense, our offense, their, however that goes, the balance of it, that's usually what I'm looking for into that spot. It's, in some instances, it's even better than the games, because as coaches, we can script, with their guys, hey, I'd like to see this matchup. Yep, good with that. Let's call this. So having that type of, conversation helps a lot. And so having, the ability to communicate with Robert and Nathaniel and Brick, that helps, because then Cliff and Joe and the guys, we can all be on the same page. Yep, want to see this, want to see that, and that's how we all get better.
And different staffs handle their quarterbacks differently, obviously, when it comes to the preseason. Will Jayden be going in game one?
Yes.
All right, y'all. I want to take a quick pause into that because he talked about the joint practice that's leading up to the preseason game on Saturday. He basically said what a lot of us were thinking and reasons why we love joint practices, because you get to see some of your young fellas go up against really good edge rushers and interior guys. And Brandon Coleman is one of the young fellas that a lot of hype has been around his name. So we're going to see if he's really about it this week coming up when we go down New Jersey. We're going to also see how Jayden Daniels reacts to his first sight of pass rush. And we're going to see if Terry McLaurin could get open on Sauce Gardner. We're going to see if we're able to contain Garrett Wilson. Is Emmanuel Forbes going to be able to, with his second camp and putting on a little bit of more weight, can he finally be able to, stay in front and kind of not be manhandled by certain receivers? It's a lot that goes into this, and a lot of people are going to be make or break. A lot of people are going to make the roster because of joint practices. A lot of people are going to miss the roster if they perform poorly in joint practices. The kicking battle is also another thing that's going to be very interesting, but I'm going to save that for a later video as the week starts and we head down to New Jersey. I'm going to make a whole video on what to watch for when we go down for joint practices. That's all I really wanted to watch with you guys today and tell you guys this morning at 9:05. Jayden Daniels will be playing in the preseason, and it's exciting because we know a lot of other young fellas will not be suiting up. Alrighty, y'all have a blessed day. Stay safe. Be easy. Peace. Use that SeatGeek code, man. $20 off. Peace.